Hi, this is Christy with Guidepost to Wellness. Welcome back to any return viewers, and welcome for anybody that's new to the channel. I like to talk about anything and everything that has to do with wellness. That can be anything from food, sleep, rest and relaxation, and exercise. Now today I wanted to talk about something that I think is very beneficial towards stress management and overall well-being and how you feel, and that is about gratitude. I've spoken about this before, but I don't think we can talk enough about gratitude. I think it's an amazing small tool that has amazing health benefits when we incorporate it into our daily life. So the word gratitude actually comes from gratia from Latin, and it means grace or gracefulness, graciousness. And I think that that's just a wonderful kind of word. It just sounds very soothing and lovely. And it is the appreciation for all that one receives. And the amazing thing about gratitude is that it's pretty much impossible to be grateful for something and worrying at the same time. It's like it uses different parts of your brain, so you can't do them both. And whenever you're grateful, you're thinking about this moment right here, right now. You're not worried about your past. You're not worried about something in the future. You're thinking about just what's going on right now, and you're experiencing pleasure for that, and thankfulness and gratefulness. And I'm not sure that all of us are really taught a lot about being truly grateful. I know that we're generally taught please and thank you, and some of us are taught to say grace before a meal, but the thing about being grateful is that it is a genuine state of mind and an outlook on life. And it's something that we should be feeling at all times, and not just, for example, on Thanksgiving, or say a few words quickly before we eat so that we can hurry up and eat and not really feel the words. Say thanks or thank you all the time, but without really sending out the emotion of thanks with that. And the thing that's amazing about gratitude too is that science is really showing more and more that the power of our thoughts and the connection between the mind and the body is really much stronger than they ever realized. And so there's a lot of studies that show the effect of negative thoughts that can have on our body, and I've talked a little bit about those. And there are studies now that are showing the effect of positive thoughts, and actually they've done brain scans of folks that are doing a gratitude type of exercise, and the hypothalamus in the brain lights up every time that they're experiencing gratitude, and the hypothalamus is responsible for releasing dopamine, and dopamine is a very, very powerful neurotransmitter. It affects our ability to learn, it affects our motivation and our desire to do things, it affects our heart rate and blood vessel functions. That's why it's really tied to stress, helps with sleep, overall mood, how well we can pay attention, and pain processing. So all of those things, if you think about, if you're struggling with pain management, if you are studying for a test, if you're doing any of those types of things, having that dopamine release is really going to be beneficial for you. So it's also called the reward or the pleasure neurotransmitter. And the thing about it is our brains are wired to want more dopamine. And this is one of the things that helps us as we're doing gratitude. It immediately can help make us feel better with that dopamine release, and then we're going to see that benefit very quickly, and then that's going to help inspire us to keep going. So scientists have done a lot of different studies, and one, they did a study that folks were using a gratitude journal, so they were writing down the things that they were grateful for, and in as little as 10 weeks they showed an improvement of happiness levels, and those are subjective, but still that's a relevant measure. But some things that changed that they weren't even measuring, weren't even expecting, were exercise frequency, and then folks had reduced number of visits to doctor's offices. So that was pretty interesting, showing that they wanted to measure how gratitude helped with happiness, but they also found other positive benefits. Another study showed decreased blood pressure, improved sleep, and reduced aches and pains. So those are really positive for somebody like me or other members of the community out there that might have an autoimmune disease or fibromyalgia or anything like that, that the gratitude can actually help reduce the pain. So feeling better physically helps with the emotional health itself, but the gratitude also has mental benefits, By appreciating what we have, it actually helps us reduce our social comparisons, and that decreases our feelings of resentment. So instead of looking what everybody else has and trying to keep up with the Joneses, we're grateful for what we have, and then we don't do that comparison, and it helps improve our self-esteem. Socially, when we show gratitude towards people, it helps us actually build better relationships with them, and our relationships are stronger. So the thing is every time you have a positive impact from appreciation, that reinforces and enhances other healthy changes as well. So the thing is that gratitude's not only about just the day-to-day. By using gratitude regularly, just like any other mindfulness type of habit that you have and perform in your life, it helps with overall emotional resilience, because life happens. People die, we have things that happen in our lives that are unexpected, weather events, things of that nature. But by having regular gratitude as part of our life, or incorporating a gratitude practice, can help with that. They've done studies on war veterans and also survivors of traumatic events like 9/11, and the folks that had cultivated some type of gratitude practice showed reduced PTSD rates and symptoms. So I think that that's really relevant and important for all of us. So the dopamine is there, and it really helps us tie together the emotional feelings, the physical feelings from doing gratitude. The thing that's lovely about gratitude is even just a small, simple practice that we get into a habit of doing regularly can give us those levels of improvement. So I mentioned one study used a gratitude journal. You don't have to necessarily do a full journal. Another practice can be before you go to bed at night, you write down on a small piece of paper, or if it is a journal, you write down 3 things that you were grateful for that day. And then when you wake up in the morning, you revisit those, and that kind of helps remind you of all the great things that have happened, things that you have to be grateful for, and in the morning that sets the tone and sets your attitude for the day as well. I like to talk about habit stacking. That is a great way to incorporate something new. So you take a habit that you've already done. I'll put a video down below a little bit more about creating a good habit. But you take something that you do regularly, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, even getting in and out of a car to drive, any of those things that you do regularly, and you tack on a new practice. And since gratitude can be so simple, I have an electric toothbrush. It goes for 2 minutes. A lot of times you're just kind of mindless, just daydreaming or thinking about your day. Why not take that time and think about all of the things that you're grateful for? The same thing in a shower. It could be another time where you're just really kind of mindless, or you go into the past, or you worry about the future, all of those types of things. And that's when you can switch that by doing some type of gratitude practice. Even something as simple as I'm grateful for this hot water. It feels so good. I'm grateful that I can take a shower. I'm grateful. I used to think about when my mom was aging and stuff, and she had to wait to get help for a shower. So being grateful that you can shower on your own, that you've got the running water that other places in the world might not have. Something even just simple, the things that we take for granted, we can turn those into things that we're grateful for. So when you sit down in the car, that's a great time. You sit down, you get ready, and this can be a way to focus yourself and make yourself mindful, and then put you in that state of mind of attention, which I think is important when we drive. When we arrive somewhere, taking a few minutes to gather ourselves before we get out of the car and just start going, to be grateful for the safe trip, grateful for the destination that you're going to, all of those types of things. So those are just a few of the ways that you can add gratitude into your daily life. I'd like to hear from others out there. How do you add gratitude to it? How do you make sure that you feel the emotion and that you make it really heartfelt? And what has that done to your health benefits? I'd love to hear from you. Take care. Be well.